Hey guys, you're tuning in to the Rappler Gaming League's online invitational for League of Legends, featuring teams from 8 major universities in the Philippines. I'm Tessa Wu. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster again for this week, and we're actually going to be introducing a new caster of the RGL family. Meet Crazy Apple.
Hi guys, I'm Crazy Apple. I'll be your caller caster for today.
And so last week's match was a match against APC Rams and MIT Kryptonite. So guys, if you want to check out highlights and recaps from those matches, please feel free to check Rappler.com to see the videos to that. And speaking of social media, please follow the Rappler Gaming League's Facebook page. Please follow Rappler's Twitch channel and Twitter page.
Yeah, and for the brackets for today, it will be a battle between UST Oblation eSports, UST Tiger eSports and UP Oblation eSports. This will be the third quarterfinals for this league, and actually, to see the player profiles, I'll give it back to Tessa.
So guys, we're gonna see the player profiles for the teams that are going to be playing today. Here we have Oblation eSports. We have Clyde D, who's going to play top lane. We have Siegfried, who's going to play mid lane. Vincent Rivera, who's going to be the jungle for his team. We have Francis, who's going to be the AD carry. And we have Aldrin, who's going to play the support for UP Oblation eSports.
Yeah, and for the other side of the teams, it will be UST Tiger eSports with Darren Sia for the top lane, Juelv or Huelv Cayago for the mid lane, James Ortiz for the jungle, Aaron Ke for AD carry, and Ramesis Pedoso on support.
So I guess we better get to the pick and bans now and see what the teams are going to be doing and how they're going to strategize for this game.
And yes, these two teams right now have I think we will have a very interesting pick and ban phase.
I'm actually really excited for the pick and ban phase, more so than the last two previous matches, especially Morgana, who is the support of UP Oblation eSports, because he is very well known to pick unconventional supports. So we're gonna see what tricks he has to pull from his sleeve. How do you feel about unconventional supports or unconventional champions in general being played in roles that don't necessarily fit them in terms of how often they're used?
Well, unconventional supports, any unconventional pick could leave the other team off guard, and they might have a hard time thinking of counters to this pick, and it can give the team a very good advantage in winning the game.
So now we have the first two bans from the teams. We have Fizz, who's banned on the side of UST Tiger eSports. We have the Annie being banned by UP Oblation eSports and being followed by the Nidalee. How do you feel about these bans so far?
I actually am curious about the Fizz ban from the UST Tiger eSports side, because Fizz right now has been a bit falling off in the meta. Though I've seen him once in the LCK played by, I think, Samsung in the jungle by Bliss. It was a very effective Fizz, though they lost that game. I think so, but it was a very interesting pick since he snowballed a bit. But since he was in the jungle role, he couldn't get much farm. So the problem happened in the late game when he couldn't deal the same damage that a mid lane Fizz.
So basically his kit wasn't fully maximized just because he didn't have enough gold or resources for his items. Let's see. And now all the bans from UP Oblation eSports, we have Annie, Aurelia, and Lulu. And tied up with UST Tiger eSports, the last ban is Elise. Something I'm honestly not surprised about, because Elise is one of, and arguably, the only top-tier jungler right now in the meta.
Yeah, that's true. Especially now that they banned Elise and they first pick Evelynn. For me, Evelynn is the next strongest jungler in the meta right now. It was I think, a very good ban coming from UST and a very good first pick from them.
So I'm actually excited to see what the jungler for UP Oblation eSports is going to be. More often than not, you normally pick a Rek'Sai against an Evelynn because of Praise Seeker, where you're able to see the moves. And right now, it was locked in by UP Oblation eSports. going to be followed up by the next two picks from UST Tiger Esports. They're hovering over the Shaco and the Blitzcrank. I actually don't think they're gonna lock in the Shaco.
It was more of a troll showing us Shaco, because actually I've seen a lot of Shaco right now, but until they
as a laner?
Yeah, both laning and jungle. But until they haven't picked it, I won't really get into detail how Shaco could be a good pick. But I don't think they would pick it since they already have an Evelyn. Right now, UST is hovering on Sivir and Braum. Braum right now has been going up in the tier list of
as a support.
Yeah, as a support. But right now they shifted, picking into a Morgana. Which,
are you disappointed?
Yeah, I'm disappointed because Braum is really a strong pick, especially there's a lot of control mages and they all have skill shots. Usually a Braum could block these skill shots with a shield.
Yeah.
And right now UP looking at, they're hovering over a Fiora right now.
I have a feeling they're not gonna lock that in. With all the rework problems that's been going on, I don't think they're gonna lock in the Fiora. But obviously, one thing to point out, Tiger Esports locked in the Sivir. Obviously, they want to focus on engaging as a team. And now we're gonna see what UP Oblation Esports is going to use. They're hovering over the Riven right now. A Riven in very good hands is a scary thing. So I want to see how, if ever the Riven is locked in, how UST Tiger Esports is going to respond to that in terms of their champion pick.
This is actually if they do lock in the Riven, is a very courageous pick. Because it's a blind pick essentially, with the blue side not yet picking their top lane, and they do
lock in. It's a blind pick Riven for top lane. So now we're going to see what UST Tiger Esports are going to do about that. They're hovering over the Malphite right now, and wow, look, check that out for the last slot. Are they going to lock
the
Yorick?
Possibly a Yorick.
Honestly, the last time I remember a Yorick being played, at least on an international setting, was this Unicorns of Love game against Fnatic.
Yeah.
That was the last time I can personally remember a Yorick being played.
They paired that Yorick with the Cassiopeia mid for Power of Evil.
Power of Evil.
Yeah, so deal more damage.
One of the best games I've ever watched in European LCS. So we're gonna see the last two picks that are going to be locked in by UST Tiger Esports. And then right after that, it's going to be the last pick for UP Oblation Esports.
Yeah, UST locking in the Shen right now, and I think they're gonna lock in the Twisted Fate, which shows that UST right now is going for a global comp
with the Shen and the TF. Yeah. I'm excited for this, and Shen is, I wouldn't necessarily say few, but Shen is one of the go-to champions to play against the Riven. So other than the fact that they probably want to go for a global pick, it's also very strategic because it's a good counter to a Riven if he is really good mechanically. So I'm excited to see how the top lane is going to go. And now we're going to be hovering over the last pick for UP Oblation Esports.
I have this big smile right now. Oh, I thought they're gonna pick the Kog'Maw for the mid lane because I honestly love AP Kog'Maw.
I have personally never played AP Kog'Maw, but if he has a really good front line, almost unstoppable.
Yeah, I think AP Kog'Maw has the best late game scaling for a mid laner in the game right now. And UP going with the Victor last pick.
They're going for the Victor.
Yeah.
One of the strongest mid laners, definitely, right now.
Yeah, I think Victor and Azir are some of the strongest mid laners right now. And Victor is a very good pick against a Twisted Fate because Victor has the same pushing power like a Twisted Fate, and Victor can delete this Twisted Fate if he even just outpositions even just a bit. And right now, these team comps, I really love the UST team comp right now.
Oh, bias! I sense bias from you, Crazy Apple.
No, I actually like these. I think UST has a better thought out strategy compared to UP since they last picked the Shen and the TF, which showed the global comp, but they first picked the Evelyn. They can do the Shen ults to the Evelyn while she's invisible.
Attacks, basically.
It's like I think they called it a submarine.
Oh, I love that term. Yeah. Anything aquatic or water, I'm definitely for. And now we're gonna be for the loading phase to see this game pop out. So you're in favor of UST Tiger Esports team comp. I have to admit, I'm also in favor of their comp. I accused you of bias earlier, but I can admit I'm really enjoying their team comp right now. And one of the things I'm surprised about was actually the support Thresh being locked in, just because I was hoping, maybe subconsciously, really deep down, that Morgana, the support player from UP Oblation Esports, was gonna pick an unconventional support. But now we're gonna see him in a more conventional champion.
Yeah, that's
gonna
true.
be Thresh.
Yeah, and I think this game is going to be a bot lane centric match, especially since UST opting for the Evelyn. There'll be ganks a lot in the bot lane, especially when the Sivir hits 6. They're going to try to make, I think, a lane gank with Evelyn coming from behind, the Shen ulting through the Evelyn, and
even the Twisted Fate using oh my gosh. Actually, I feel like, at least in terms of early game, there is basically a ticking time clock for UP Oblation Esports. They basically have to get things done and get ahead of the game, because once both the Shen and the Twisted Fate become level 6, how can they feel safe basically with their, well, Shen's global ultimate in a sense, and TF with it, even though it's not technically global, that wide range basically, and him being able to teleport in and support his team is a terrible, terrible thing to think about if you are on the enemy team right now.
Yeah, and right now, UP, I think they should really invest heavily in wards. Because if you want to try to counter this composition right now from UST, you need to put a lot of river wards that would see if the TF would try to go bot side or top side.
I agree with the warding, but here's the most difficult part. There's an enemy Evelyn on the enemy side versus UP Oblation Esports. And I know I mentioned this before because Evelyn was picked. And I think every match that we had in the online invitational for the Rappler Gaming League. But the thing is, Evelyn can't be seen with regular wards. So you have to be more strategic on where you place them, especially in camps. So when you see her clear a camp, you get vision of her. But even then, as soon as her passive Shadow Walk hits in and she walks away, you can only get a really good idea, and you only have a max of 5 pink wards in the game. So we're gonna see if UP Oblation Esports is gonna play maybe Paranoid. I think they might actually play Paranoid with the thought of the Evelyn running around.
Yeah, a lot. And I think UP should really opt to have strong lanes. They should try to shove their lanes a lot. And in the early game, I think the Rek'Sai should try to go inside the enemy jungle so that he could have a better read on the early part of the game from Evelyn, and maybe get a Sightstone early. So yeah, as you mentioned, that you need to put the wards in the camps.
You have to be strategic about the wards, exactly.
But if you at least put those wards in the camps, you still have this little information that you could use so that you can have like the information to see where the Evelyn might go. So if you see her like maybe in the wolf camp or in the red camp, you'd know that she might opt to go to these lanes, and with the Shen ult towards her. So when that time comes, UP sees that they should try to play safe. I think UP should just not try to get killed a lot when the enemy gets level 6. At even gold, these two teams have even team fights.
I agree. So definitely that's going to be the strategy for each team right now. For UST, it's to take advantage of all the tools they basically have to have these ambushes against the enemy team. And at the same time, UP Oblation Esports have to play safe in that way, but at the same time not fall too far behind. And when they feel like they can actually win a team fight, they can just engage and feel confident in themselves and in their abilities and synergy as a team. So we're gonna see if that's gonna play out. How do you feel about the bot lanes right now? Because we were very centered on the jungle picks, for example. How do you feel the bot lane, Sivir and Morgana versus the Corki and the Thresh?
In the level 1, I think level 2, I mean, Corki and Thresh might have a better time in trading. But as the longer the game progresses, especially when it hits level 6, it would be a better advantage for the Corki in the laning phase if there is no top lane and jungle interference. But obviously from the comp of UST, even though they have
it's going to be a lot of interference.
Even though they have a weaker bot lane post level 6, they can still tilt that to their favor with the global presence.
And don't forget, the Shen also has a teleport because that usually happens in solo queue. I don't know if that happens to you, but more often than not, sometimes in my team, when I have a Shen as my top lane, sometimes they opt not to even get a teleport and they're be selfish and just get the ignite so they win their lane. But there's a lot of response coming in from UST Tiger eSports. So hopefully their team will be able to capitalize on that and come out on top. And we're going to see what UP, Oblation eSports, is going to do. And what I find really interesting is how both teams experience counter picks. That always happens during the pick and ban phase. So the Riven was blind picked. And in response to that, they had the Shen. The Twisted Fate was technically also blind picked, and it was responded by the Victor. So how do you feel like the top lane and the bottom lane matches are going to go at this point?
In the top lane, I think it would be, in the early part, it would be favored for Riven because she's really a good lane bully. But Shen, he just needs to play safe and farm. While for the mid lane, Victor has, well, they're basically even with the TF. And right now, the Victor has a cleanse as one of his summoner spells. So one stun won't be that devastating towards the Victor. And the jungler is an Evelyn, so there won't be any other CC that would follow up after the yellow card.
I remember mentioning earlier how Shen is usually picked as a counter pick against Riven, but it's actually different in this context because when I say that Shen is a counter pick against Riven, I don't necessarily mean that Shen can bully Riven out of lane, but meaning Shen is a counter pick in the sense where he won't be extremely bullied by the Riven, where he has a little bit more sustain and he'll be able to interrupt some of her moves with his taunt, for example. So we're gonna see how they're gonna play that out. So now, there's actually all the members, or rather almost all the members of UST Tiger eSports are going bot lane, and they might actually go for a jungle invade compared to the members of UP Oblation eSports, where they're a little bit more dispersed.
And actually UP spotting them first, putting the ward on that bush in the river. And UST right now has a bit of an advantage in terms of initiative, putting more deep wards into the jungle. Though I think UST should have delayed their invasion a bit to see if UP would opt to go for a smaller group invasion towards your jungle.
Sometimes it's really about the timing though when you plan to do an invade in the jungle, and we see a couple of pings coming in from both teams at the top jungle portion of UST Tiger eSports, but I don't think they're going to
fight.
Push for. Yeah, I don't think they're going to fight at this point.
Actually, I think it's a smart decision from UP to go out to opt out of that fight, since I don't think they had a bigger numbers advantage. Though I think they should have went in faster, since they already spotted that UST was going to their blue side jungle. So if they just went in, put some deep wards to counter what UST has done in their jungle. And right now, TF still trying to poke around the enemy side of the jungle, getting hit by a laser from Victor. And I guess it's just gonna be standard lanes for this game. And actually, the Riven is in
clearing a camp.
Yeah, clearing a camp in a wolf camp, I guess, trying to get that early level 2 against the Shen.
Go back to base, buy an item, teleport back top lane.
Yeah, and right now these teams, I think, are gonna be very even in this laning phase.
A lot of harass and trades coming in from the bot lane. We see that Corki is a little bit less than half life. Oh, and a Dark Binding does land, but the death sentence of the Thresh does not land on the Sivir, who is also at almost a little bit less than half health. A lot of trading going on. And now we see the mid lane happening, and obviously this is what you predicted, where the Twisted Fate would get severely bullied by the Victor, and he actually opted to get a Doran's Ring and 2 potions. I wouldn't have expected that from the TF just because, but that'll be a conversation for later, because there's actually a gank at top from the Rek'Sai of UP Oblation eSports, but nothing to fear because the Shen is just taking comfort and safety from his turret. And we see that the Evelyn is also making her way towards top lane.
I actually think it was a very good taunt from... Oh, there's another fight in bot lane.
Oh, and the phosphorus bomb of the Corki does land. He blows his class, trying to kill. And the death sentence of the Thresh secures the fate, and the first blood does go in favor of UP Oblation eSports, and now they want to take the support with him, but no, all the minions go by his side, and he's trying to use the tormented soil to kill him, and they're blowing their potions, trying to get at each other. A lot of minion attack. Will the auto attack land? And it does! God. So it is a 1-for-2 trade, actually in favor of UST Tiger eSports. That was insane! I did not expect that much action so early on in the game.
Yeah, and here's a replay showing the fight right now. I thought UST was gonna lose this battle because Sivir was put down so low, but Schnitzel pulling out that fight, just staying in there, keeping attacking this Corki, and the creeps and hitting that dark binding made him have the advantage in this fight.
Oh my, guys, your minions are your friends, clearly. Look at that. He basically was able to take down 2 of the enemy bot lane alone. And I think it was amazing because he even sidestepped away from the phosphorus bomb. Because I think a solo Q player would probably just keep running back for their dear life, but no. And there is another trading going on at top with the Shen of UST Tiger eSports at less than half health, and now we see that the bot lanes are probably gonna go at it once again. A lot of trading going on, and Morgana is at less than half health. The Dark Binding does land, as well as the Tormented Foil. So both the bot laners of UST and the UP are at severely low health, and Morgana might possibly die. Will the auto attack land? No, neither does the Dark Binding, and the Tormented Soul was placed there, but no, he takes comfort in the tower. A lot of action coming in from the bot lane without any intervention from their junglers. This is insane.
Yeah, and actually right now UP is on the losing end of these trades in the bot lane. I think I need to take back what I said earlier that Corki and Tesh have a better trading in terms of level 2. But right now UP is just playing their UST rather is playing their bot lane very well. And early on in that first trade where that Morgana got the
oh my gosh, and yet another one. Oh, and instead of taking the lantern, he didn't want to take any chances, and he Valkyried away from the Tormented Soil.
Yeah, and going back to the earlier fight,
yes,
there's so much fighting.
There's so much fighting going on in bot lane. Yeah. Go ahead, please continue.
And the Morgana earlier was when she killed the Corki, she got early level 3 against the Thresh, which gave her that small advantage with the Black Shield.
Exactly. And a lot of trading going on at top lane as well, with both the top laners of USC and UP at less than half health. Oh, and the Riven does land a stun, and will she go and tower dive? No, the Shen is forced to flash away, which might be in his favor obviously for a later trade. And now the Evelyn is making her way, and they might actually bait out the Riven, who does actually go and tower dive, but she is not safe because the Evelyn is taking. Oh my god! Wow. Instead, it was a turret kill. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was great mechanics and overall great map awareness from the Riven right there. Seeing that the Evelyn was going behind her back, she went and opted to go die on the tower so that the Evelyn couldn't get any gold.
Actually, I feel like the W of the Evelyn might have been popped a little bit too early because that revealed. I don't know if she was yet in range from the turret vision, but I feel like she might have actually pulled the trigger a little bit too early, which urged the Riven to instead walk forward and get killed by the turret.
Yeah, that's true. And here in the mid lane right now, TF going solo and has almost no mana. On the other hand, Victor has no mana, but he's very full, very healthy right now.
So we're gonna see if the junglers are going to intervene towards the mid lane. We see Evelyn hovering over the Victor, who probably has no idea that she's there.
Yeah, and actually Victor having a very good advantage in this mid lane right now, having a 12 CS lead against this Twisted Fate. I think, yeah, and there might be a gank in mid lane.
Let's see if he'll be able to land a no. I don't think anything is going to happen because even though the Evelyn was there, it would be too much of a risk for both the TF and the Evelyn to take on the Victor 2 versus 1.
Yeah, and if the Victor, I actually think the Victor there had no mana, and this top lane trading is.
There's trading basically going on everywhere in this entire map, and at least for bot lane, we see that UST has the edge, but at top lane, UP has the edge at this point. So we're gonna see if the junglers are going to respond to this. As of now, there's been not a lot of actually jungler intervention in these lanes.
Also,
oh, there's an ult coming from. Oh, but they wasted the gold card on the minion. That was. Oh my god.
I'm not sure if it was an outplay from Riven or just a very poor play from the TF right there. I think they could have chased that Riven better because they could have done a CC chain and could have killed the Riven. The TF could have flashed over the wall, but I guess they didn't want to take that risk.
Oh man. And the Shen even used his taunt against the minions, and that basically gives the Riven another kill. Did you see it?
Yeah, and
oh my god.
I'm actually not sure what the Shen did there.
He taunted in between minions, basically.
Yeah, and he was...
But that'll be a conversation for later because now there is ganking going on. The death sentence does land, and the Thresh makes sure that his Corki and ADC take the kill.
Yeah, and...
oh my god!
Yeah, this early game laning phase is like there's so much trading happening around the map, and UP actually getting more advantages over this early laning phase that I think USC will have a hard time doing some of their global pressure ganks.
And this might actually secure the first dragon of the game going to UP. And I think it says there is no contestation coming in from USD. Honestly, I am a little bit surprised with the jungling pattern of the Evelynn, just because I feel like, at least whenever I play Evelynn, most of the time you want to maximize the early game pressure that you can have on these lanes, and so far, it's been absent right now.
Yeah, and actually the Evelynn hasn't been ganking a lot. She opted more for a farm type jungle. Though
she is out farming the Rek'Sai though.
Yeah, and right now there's action in mid, but the Victor just flash out, not even risking that fight.
Yep. Obviously, a summoner spell blown, even if you didn't necessarily get a kill in that gank, it's very worth your while. And and there was another trading going on at bot lane where Morgana died from UST. Ironic because the name of the support of UP.
Yeah, and actually I felt that earlier that you were talking about like Morgana's dying. I was looking, who's dying?
Morgana the champion, people. Morgana the champion. I'm just going to be referring to people by the champions because it can get confusing. And now the Riven lands the stun on both members of UST. Will she be able to take one of them to the grave? No. It is a 1-for-0 trade in favor of UST. And now Victor is trying to make his way along with the Rek'Sai to punish the members of UST for getting a little bit too close to their friends. Oh, and she actually opts to stay in the top bush, but the Prey Seeker actually does work, and they might be able to kill her. The Unroaring works, and Shen using his ultimate to try to save her, but it does not work. And somehow the Morgana of UST makes her way to top lane, and there is another teleport coming in from the just respawned Riven, and she might actually be able to kill the Morgana, forced to use her Black Shield. A gold card does that, and the Shen actually trying to go in, and the Tormented Soil is chunking at her health severely, and the Victor trying to get in a few more pokes there at the side. But will they commit to this tower dive? I don't think so. Oh my god,
wow,
a lot of things happen. But the Dark Binding lands once again with the Tormented Soil, but I don't think the minion waves are pushing nearly enough for them to commit to the tower dive.
Yeah, that was such a long fight that the Riven was the first one that died, and she went back teleporting in, trying to finish the fight.
Oh my god.
But their overall UP, I think, had the advantage in that fight. And actually, that was a really... everyone went in one by one. And
it was, considering it was a really messy fight, there weren't a lot of casualties, just a lot of action being played all around by these teams.
And both those teams, I think, played that fight really well. And
I think so. Oh, and they're actually going in for a tower dive, but the Evelynn comes to the rescue. The Thresh is trying to get out as much as he... Oh! And they were actually able to kill the Evelynn! That was basically counter... That was amazing!
That was a 2v3 outplay coming from the UP bot lane.
And now they might actually be able to get the silver. Oh, and it does! And now the Corki from UP is actually on a killing spree. That was insane! First, it started out as a 2 versus 3 outplay. But UP was not satisfied. They wanted a second kill under their belt, and they got it.
I actually think right now that UST is playing these fights very greedily. They want to get one last...
Wait, but there's gonna be another tower dive, and the Rek'Sai actually assisting the Riven. And will she die? No, the shield actually does work, and she gets away without paying any tax by blood.
Wow, and
Wait, oh my god! And trying to use the soul shackles, he has forced the Valkyrie away. Well, he's actually fighting. He's trusting the minions and he's using his... Oh my god, no! But the Evelyn comes and he thought he was safe, even forced to use his heal, but to no avail, and now he was shut down. A lot of action coming every... It's kind of hard to keep up like this.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep up with this game, and there's an instant replay showing how the bot lane right now, Corki earlier was put very much down by this Morgana, but Evelyn coming out of nowhere from her invisibility, putting a shutdown kill.
He might have been a little bit too aggressive because he was able to get away from the soul shackles basically with his Valkyrie, and instead of walking away, he tried to kill the Morgana without knowing that the Evelyn was nearby. So that goes to show.
Yeah, actually, I think this is the overall theme of this game. Over-aggressiveness, everybody just trying to fight.
Everyone's just aggressive. Everyone's trading mid lane, top lane, bot lane, everywhere basically. And the junglers are just coming in for the party.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if, but I think UP is playing this game early laning phase pretty well, being very aggressive in these fights, not allowing UST to form up themselves and do some of those global pressure ganks.
Wow, and the Riven might actually be able to steal the blue buff. Oh no, it was smited in time and she might be punished for it. The gold card was used and the Stein United by the Shen was also used. Will he be able to land the top? No, and the Victor actually comes in and Rek'Sai is able to land the unburrowing, killing the Twisted Fate. Will the Evelyn be able to take a con? No, it is a 2-4-0 trade in favor of UP.
And
oh my god, that was insane!
Yeah, and that fight all started with, I think, with Riven trying to get the blue buff of USA, and there's another fight happening at bot lane.
Corki is left alone to his devices and he tried to escape the soul shackles. He does, but he was left at a dark binding, and even though he takes out a lot of health from the Sivir, he dies. But the rest of his teammates are trying to take the second tier mid turret of UST as a consolation prize for their fallen brother.
Yeah, right now, UP showing that they have the advantage in rotations in this game.
Exactly, rotations.
Right now, they're about to take 2 towers from the mid lane for just 1 death from the bot lane.
And now Dragon's gonna be up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and they're right over there right now. They could put wards in the red side.
No, they're basically pinging it like crazy. They're gonna remove the pink ward that they saw. Nope, they're not even gonna bother because I think as of now, they're probably going to expect contestation, but they probably feel a little bit confident.
Yeah, I don't think this will be a smart fight for UST since
they're out of position right now. Oh, and the death sentence does land, and will he actually bother going in? Oh, the Morgana is at severely low health, and that might actually discourage UST from any contestation against the Dragon.
Yeah, and right now, I really think that USC just needs to buckle down a bit, regroup themselves, and think how they can make effective fights in this game.
I feel like they've been playing a little bit too aggressive, actually.
Yeah, and the over-aggression, actually both teams have been playing so aggressively.
Well, both teams true, but at the same time, you have to take into consideration if you are the team that's behind, aggression will not work in your favor. And the red was almost stolen by the Victor from UP. And at just 16 minutes and 45 seconds, we see that there is a substantial gold lead from UP.
Yeah, and it's at
almost 6,000.
Yeah, and at almost 17 minutes in the game.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's very huge right now. And this top lane, there's another fight happening.
A lot of trading coming in. Actually, even if you combine the kills from both teams, it's more than the amount of minutes that passed. By 1 only, just by 1.
Yeah, and it's not even the kills that are just the lead of UP right now. Even in CS, the mid lane, there's more than 30 CS difference between the Victor and the TF. While for the AD carries, yes, it is tilted a bit on the UST side. But if you look at the top lane, it's very much in favor of Riven.
I guess if you counted in terms of the total CS difference between the two teams and all their members, then UP also has an advantage. So other than the kills, the CS difference is working in their favor. And right now, their rotations are also working well in their favor, being able to outsmart UST, even though they technically have a team comp that's well or better equipped for responding. It hasn't been working out in their favor right now.
Yeah, and just UP, I think they have better communication in these fights, because every time there's a fight happening, someone from UP goes to react to that fight and tries to reinforce the fight.
Despite the fact that they don't necessarily have global ultimates, and yet they're somehow there at the right time, and now they have their eyes set on the first tier bottom turret of UST. And and the death sentence does land, and he was instantly deleted by the Victor, who they want to take the Evelyn, and the Stand United of Shen does land to save him, and they want to punish UP. Well, and the Rek'Sai does land the unborrowing, and the Riven was locked down by a stun, and she actually does tower dive. Will they be able to kill the members? And it's a double kill coming in from the Corki of UP, and they want that Twisted Fate. Will the Rek'Sai be able to unborrow this? Although the gold card does land, I think the Riven might be able to catch up to him in time. Oh my, he actually backtracks, and I don't think there's anything that's going to save him, and that kill was secured by the Riven of UP. So it was basically a 3-for-1 trade in favor of UP.
Yeah, and there's an instant replay happening right now. Here we could see how effective the gold lead by UP is right now. I think UST had a very good reaction to this fight, using their global ultimates, trying to tilt the fight in their favor, but UP just have so much gold right now, and the Corki having this Triforce spike, and also the Riven having the Ravenous Hydra really made their damage so strong that even the tower couldn't defend its
any
own
of the
team.
members. Yeah. And what I really liked about it was even their rotations within the enemy tower range. They were basically distributing damage from the turret.
Yeah. And actually, I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, exactly.
That how the in and out of UP
and
was.
the Victor might actually not be able to take his blue buff. He was forced to use the lantern from his ally team, definitely. So we're gonna see they want to take the blue buff of UP, but they wanted to, and who's going to take it? The Morgana trying to get in a binding. It doesn't work. Even though the CF does get the blue buff, it doesn't stay with him for long because the Thresh was able to land the death sentence, and now the Shen from UST is trying to escape back to his tower.
Yeah, and these are some really...
and a surprise attack from the Riven, being able to land the stun, killing the Evelyn, and she might actually tower dive for the Shen, and she does get a double kill. But at bot lane, Sivir actually died against the Corki. We didn't see that, but either way, it's a 4-for-0 trade actually in favor of UP.
And UP right now having a 10k gold advantage in 20 minutes, and they're opting to destroy the inhibitor turret in the top lane.
Oh my god, this is insane. And we were both in favor of the UST team comp, but they've just been playing this so tremendously well with I feel like their team fighting skills is just amazing, especially their timing of things, of being able to land the unburrow, the death sentence. A lot of response coming in from when these skills are properly landed, and no hesitation from any members of their team.
And I actually noticed how this Riven, I think it should be a ban next game, because this Riven was playing the champion so well. He didn't wait for opting for her full combo, because I see usually Rivens do Q auto attack, Q auto attack. She would only do a Q auto attack, then pull out her ult, use the active part of her ult, and kill someone right off the map.
One of the signs of a really well mechanically trained Riven.
Yeah, and
I would agree with that. I was noticing that too.
And it was just this UP team right now. Just over aggression, fights happening all around the map.
Yes,
but they're also accompanying it with very well timed rotations.
That's the thing. I mean, they've been playing very aggressively, but they weren't playing blindly aggressively. Like, you notice that all the aggression they put out has been really well calculated. And now we see that the Dragon is going to be up in less than 10 seconds, and Baron is live.
Yeah, and UP, I think, we'll just get this Dragon right now.
The third Dragon.
Yeah.
And no contestant probably coming in from UST's team right now.
Yeah, I think they should just leave like an Evelyn there, try to might get a smite off. But UST right now should opt to try to ward their jungle and maybe try to get some picks.
As of this point, UST is just so far behind in just 22 minutes. And now the Riven might actually kill the... Oh my god, and he will. And he's unstoppable right now. That's the thing. A Fed Riven is insane. And the... and it's a double kill! It's a double kill, and now it might even be a triple kill. The death sentence does land on the Twisted Fate, and with the Rek'Sai coming in, they secure yet another kill for the team, and it's a triple kill. No,
Oh my god!
I take that back. It's a quadra kill, and now it's an ace for UP Oblation eSports. They're taking down the second
and-
oh my god.
And right now, oh my, it's a surrender.
It's a surrender!
UST Tiger Esports.
The first surrender from this online invitational, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. That was a complete snowball.
Yeah, it was like a complete demolition of the UST team comp right there.
White flags be waving.
Oh my
White flags
God.
be waving.
UP just, this Riven, I'm telling you, this Riven should be banned the next game.
Oh my god. I feel like my vocal cords need to be replaced by the next game. Oh my god. Well, okay. So the game, what you think of it?
The game, well,
that was intense. Because to be honest, at least at the beginning, UP had a severe advantage at bot lane.
Yeah.
And I feel like as soon as UP got an advantage, they just kept capitalizing on what they had and snowballing with it. That was just insane.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure, but I think USC should not have been over aggressive. I saw on the top lane, like, remember that taunt, that blind taunt by the Shen, just taunting the minions. The Riven was
that.
was on the bottom side of that lane, and he just tried to aggressively taunt the Riven. You shouldn't try to be aggressive with a global comp that needs to spike at 6.
Yeah.
Because your comp is very effective at 6.
But prior to that, you shouldn't give the opportunity for your enemy team to take advantage of you.
Yeah, and UP right there, I think they had a better pick and ban. I'm taking away
you're
the first.
taking it back.
Yeah,
you're taking it back.
I'm
That's
taking it
insane.
back right now because upon further watching
Upon further watching
of
yes.
this game, UP I think their strategy was pick strong laners, abuse how strong their lane was, and just keep on fighting this UST team comp, snowball from that.
That's the thing with the Riven, because she got fed so early on, but the problem was there wasn't enough response to shut her down. Yeah. That's the thing. There were several attempts, but they all failed.
Yeah, and UST, I think they had this team comp that's very good when they're all together. But if they're all separated, there's like there were various skirmishes all around the map, and these skirmishes, like Riven is one of the best skirmishing champions in the game.
Yes.
And if she has a one-on-one on anyone on that team, she could delete them.
She basically deleted even 2 versus 1 against her.
Yeah, and you can see how UP also had the better wards inside the UST jungle, since
they had a lot of offensive wards actually.
And there were a lot of times where the Evelynn was just walking around invisible, and the Riven would just pop out of nowhere and kill her immediately. It wasn't even because there's a pink ward there. They just had knowledge where the Evelynn was because of the prior wards that they placed before.
Exactly. So that actually, guys, concludes the first match of this game. It's a match between UP Tiger Esports and UST Tiger Esports and UP Oblation Esports. So after we're gonna take around a 15-minute break, we're gonna see if UST will be able to take this game and make it to a best of 3.
Yeah,
a true best of 3.
Yeah, and guys, this will be a quick break, so maybe just try to eat your dinner, take a cup of coffee with you guys while watching. I think this would be a better game next game. I mean, in terms of fairness.
I don't know. We're gonna see, guys, but for sure, I don't think it's gonna be boring. So stay tuned.